in the US associate the Nordic model with some sort of socialism. Therefore, I would like to make one thing clear. Denmark is far from a socialist planned economy. Denmark is a market economy.
For those of you who want communism, while you are on your cell phone typing away and having a good time as you look at your phone and put your computer down at the table, walk up to the line in Starbucks and order your matcha latte, whatever, yeah, you should go live in one of these countries and maybe check it out first before you try to change this one. Welcome. My name is Rita. If you have never been here, I hope you guys are doing well. The last video I posted was about this Zoran guy that New York voted in as their primary candidate for mayor. And a lot of people, young people, have a bone to pick, who have a wild hair up their nose about my views on this candidate that is a communist.
My food is your food.
You sound like a communist.
Not really communism, more like socialism. If you think about it, socialism's not really that bad.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It's kind of like just being really nice and fair.
If you think about it, socialism's like everybody helping everybody else out. And capitalism's like greed.
And for the person who said this about being fake, oftentimes people who are being fake, it's because they have something to prove or because they care about being affirmed by strangers.
I'm gonna try. No, you're the man.
Or because they're trying to get likes or, like I said, affirmation, or they're trying to get a hug or some kind of accolade. I know this is going to be hard for some people to wrap their minds around, especially some of the younger people. Some of us do things on principle, and we do not want or need affirmation. I am not trying to get any acceptance or anything, anybody to love me. None of this. So let's just do away with that right now. Let's just go ahead and put that to rest so I can carry on with the video. Abolition of property in land and application of all rents of land to public purposes. A heavy progressive or graduated income tax. Abolition of all rights of inheritance. So your parents want to leave you something? Too bad for you. It's going to the state. Confiscation of the property of all immigrants and rebels. That doesn't mean illegals. It means the bourgeois, the people they want to steal from. What I just read to you was a little bit of an excerpt from the Communist Manifesto. Karl Marx, the Book of Thieves is what I like to call this, because this entire book, if you have not read it, I would highly recommend you read it, because much of the language that you read in this book is the language of all of the Democrat Party right now, except maybe not some of the old ones like Nancy Pelosi, because they are part of the sailing ship that it's on its way out. And all of these new ones now, these Democratic Socialists, much of their talking points come right from this book. And I know a lot of people like communism because basically you get to take from other people what you did not earn. Karl Marx doesn't like earning anything either. Everything for Karl Marx is about him, of course, or the revolutionaries being in control of all the means of production, while everybody else gets to sit back and wait for somebody to drop morsels in their mouth. I, for one, don't trust people enough for that, because guess what? Human nature is tainted. People are wicked. So I am not putting my trust in a person to give me my food or to give me my housing or whatever it may be. I want to be able to have leverage in the situation by paying for my housing. I like free market.
The Nordic model is an expanded welfare state which provides a high level of security for its citizens, but it is also a successful market economy with much freedom to pursue your dreams and live your life as you wish.
We also have a vast social welfare state. I don't know if some of these some people don't understand that. There are already government-run hospitals and things. I am from Chicago, very blue, very liberal, with a lot of social programs. It has a hospital called John Stroger, used to be called Cook County when I was growing up. It is free, and be prepared with a free hospital to wait, because that's what you get in universal healthcare type settings. Be prepared to wait and wait and wait and wait until whoever is working at the hospital gets to decide how bad your injury or your illness is, and then that's where you fall on the wait list. Okay, so they have the hospital and they have public clinics all over the city. They have Section 8, not only Section 8, but subsidized housing. They're different. Some of you might not have known that, but they have Section 8 and subsidized housing. So you don't have to have Section 8 in order to get into the subsidized housing. You just fill out forms that says, hey, I have low income, whatever, and you get on a list for a list. Everything is a list. You don't think you're going to just walk into something that the government is running and have it run smoothly and efficiently, because after all, the government is mostly run by people who have no experience in the field that they're actually working in. So no, it's going to be slow. You are going to be in line for everything you need. Karl Marx is somebody who never owned a business. He was one of these supposed academics who just wanted to sit around and pontificate all throughout his life. So this entire book it first starts off by pitting people against one another. You have the proletariat and you have the bourgeois. Okay, and the bourgeois would be considered the conservatives, the capitalists, the people who think that free trade is the way to go. Why? Because we are individuals and we should be free to exchange, barter, sell however we want. And if people don't like our wares, then they will go elsewhere with their money. They don't have to buy from us. We are not forcing them to stop at our stores. We're not forcing anything upon them. Communists, however, argue against that and basically says that this is a form of exploitation to people who obviously are too stupid to know better. So this is a form of so Karl Marx is not really big on individualism. Okay, as a matter of fact, it's all about the collective. Only gift that you have is a gift that will serve the collective. So this is like cult talk.
A cult identity, appearance-wise, they're looking very androgynous, agender. The women have like bowl cuts. They're not seemingly expressing their own identities, their own authentic expressions. They're just sort of monotone, repeating back what they've learned.
Exactly. One of the playbook rules was to, take your old identity and toss it in the garbage and take on the new identity of the group. And you are literally repeating and parroting what you've heard in these numerous meetings and messages.
Obviously, what we're seeing today is a heavy indoctrination of all of these things in our public schools. I do believe that the initial removing God from the schools and the morning prayer and things like that in the 1960s, I do believe that was the start of then moving all of this junk into the public schools. I do believe that. A few atheist parents sued in order to get the prayer and God removed from the public square, from public education system. And I'm not going to get into the whole, church and state thing right now, but this book talks about religion and how, their plan is to, here, I'll read it here. Communism, it says there are besides eternal truths such as freedom, justice, etc., that are common to all states of society, but communism abolishes eternal truths. Really what that's saying is abolishing objective truth. So this is why everything is my lived experience, my truth, because this does not believe in objective truth. Communism believes in subjective truth, so which is not a truth at all. It's either true or it's not true. And that's it. But I will continue. Communism abolishes eternal truths. It abolishes all religion and all morality. So I would disagree with it in this area of it abolishes all religion and morality. No, it just removes Christianity from the public square and inserts whatever religion, atheism, Satanism, communism. It inserts its own religion, whatever religion will help it to grow and overthrow the current capitalist system. That is the religion it will adopt and that it will put into the public schools.
Every day I get messages from Marxists, leftists, communists asking me how I reconcile my political stances with being Muslim, as if they contradict.
A lot of young people, 1 in 4, think that communism is a wonderful thing. And this is why they're rioting and fighting. Communists want to have full control over what you eat, what you do.
I'm going to be arrested for posting on Facebook.
Some comments that are offensive, obscene, and people have made a complaint about that, and it's transferred.
Can you tell me what this comment was?
Okay, well, we'll do that when we interview you.
All right, and so what am I going to be locked up for the night? Or?
With what you've created over your grocery store, as I talked about in my last video, in New York. So that means food, agriculture. That means it wants control over the production of food. Now, mind you, these are all ideas from someone who had too much time on their hands to sit around and pontificate and look people over and judge the system based on his perception of what was happening, not what is actually happening. In this book, there are several instances where he you can say he's looking down. While he says he's for the worker, he's actually looking down on the worker. So this is not so far from what we see from today's Democrat Party when they say, oh, well, you guys are going to be so sorry that you're deporting all these people. Who's going to clean your house? Who's going to pick your fruit?
Every Latino out of this country, then who is going to be cleaning your toilet, Donald Trump?
This is the idea people with God complexes have about jobs that they deem are unworthy or peasant class. It never dawns on them that there are people who actually enjoy these things. It never dawns on them because this is their perception. And these people always seem to be perfectly fine with steamrolling over the people that they purport to help.
Over here, and I'm sitting out looking out my window. And they went straight to Office Max, the dollar store, and every store over here that I go to. I have nowhere to go now.
And here's what I can't understand. I can't understand for the life of me why so many people are perfectly fine and giddy even over the idea of having government, individuals in government, controlling so many little aspects of your life. Grocery store, that is a huge aspect of your life. We already have food banks. We already have 501c3s, a million of them, that are supposed to be doing this. It was the reason that 501c3 and non-tax exempt status even began in the first place many years ago, is because all of these organizations are supposed to be feeding, clothing, housing the homeless and things like that. So they would not be a tax burden. And if people want to donate, and if people out of the kindness of their heart, they can give to these causes. But no, we've strayed so far from that. We have strayed so far from that. So for those of you who want communism, you should go and live in one of these countries like Venezuela and Cuba. Not in the tourist areas. Live with the people. Live with the people and not the wealthy ones, the ones that work for government. No, live with some of these people and see their day-to-day and see how they are having to stand in line for minuscule things, toothpaste, bread, and all that, while you are on your cell phone typing away and having a good time as you look at your phone and put your computer down at the table as you walk up to the line in Starbucks and order your matcha latte, whatever. Yeah, you should go live in one of these countries and maybe check it out first before you try to change this one. This one that people like me love. So that is my rant for today. Until next time, ciao. God bless.